What's up, y'all? I don't know if you got the memo, but we already planning for summertime shy around here, and I've got the first event you need to add to your list. Moats Entertainment presents Out and Amplified Night of Queer Music. This unforgettable evening will feature 3 groundbreaking artists, including Vincent, Parson James, and John Duff. Plus, you'll see queer local DJs from right here in the city, including bodybuilding drag queen Miss Toto and house disco techno artist Icy Baby. Catch Out and Amplified Night of Queer Music at the Riviera Theater on Friday, June 20th. Doors open at 6 and the show starts at 7:30. You can get your tickets at moatsevents.live/tickets. Today on CityCast Chicago, April is one of my absolute favorite months, and this year might take the cake. There's a lot going on over the next few weeks, so here's our guide to April in Chicago. It's Tuesday, April 1st. I'm Jacoby Cochran, and this is what Chicago is talking about. Hey, if you new to CityCast Chicago, welcome. This is the daily news podcast where Monday through Friday, we talking about all things Chicago, and I mean all things. Seriously, just last month, we talked about the safety of Chicago's airports, the toxic traits of some Chicago drivers, and major potential cuts from public transit. I know what you're thinking. So y'all a transportation podcast. And no, you would be wrong. We also stopped by a Southside Food Lab last month, pulled up on an iftar for Ramadan, and ate some ponchki from Mardi Gras. Oh, so y'all do food and getting around. Again, you're wrong. I said all things Chicago. We also broke down tension at the school board, illegal arrests from ICE, city council meetings, and still had time to talk about Chicago sports. So when I say all things Chicago, I mean all things Chicago. Anyway, we like to ring in every month with a little guide, including some of our best tips, recommendations, and restaurants to get you through April. As I said up top, this is a very, very big month for me. I'm here with Chicago digital creator Jenny LaFleur, aka Mama Fresh. Also joining us is podcast host, resident bookworm, and author of the Greta Graham newsletter, Greta Johnson. Welcome back to the podcast, my friends.
Thank you so much for having me. I feel at home, so thank you for having me back home.
Thank you for coming back. We've also got podcast host, resident bookworm, and the author of the Greta Graham newsletter, Greta Johnson. Greta, welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, Jacoby, glad to be here.
Let's kick off this guide to April with the thing we are most excited for. I want everybody who is listening to this episode, whether you're new or whether you're old head at this, to know that this is a participatory. Please reach out to us, 773-780-0246. We also want to know, what are you excited for this month? Greta, I'm going to start with you. What are you most excited for going into April?
I am excited just to spend time outside. I mean, you're already starting to see little blooms poking up out of the grass. It's so amazing to see it. I want flowering trees. I want to just like sit in the sun. We have this puppy now who's like extremely extroverted, and she just wants to like sit on Logan Boulevard and become best friends with everyone who walks by. And that's going to be a lot more comfortable to do when it's nice out than when it's like 36 degrees. So that's what I'm really excited for.
The dog parks, the dog beaches are getting back packed. Every time I walk outside my apartment, I see the little tulip stems coming up.
Yes.
And there are,
exactly,
I think, hundreds outside along the street. And I'm like, we're almost there. We're almost back to the color.
We're so close.
We're almost back. When you go outside during this time, what's the thing you're most looking forward to? Like a place that you haven't visited during the winter months that you're excited to get back to?
I think Chicago Botanic Garden would be perfect this time of year, right? Because, you know, like just seeing those signs of spring is so exciting, right? On a gloomier day, you could totally do Garfield Park Conservatory still. But I kind of love that through winter because it's so like lush and humid that like, you know, to go there on a December day or whatever is like a gift you can give yourself, you know?
Shout out to all the seasonal depression baddies out there, because Crawford Park Conservatory is a place where you can find home, your skin, your hair. You mentioned that humidity. It is really a safe space for girls like us.
Yes.
Yeah, spring at the Garden, at the Chicago Botanic Garden, Garfield Park Conservatory, the Lincoln Park Conservatory. I love seeing more people back at the South Shore Nature Sanctuary, people walking through the lagoons at Humboldt Park and Marquette Park and the Auburn Park Lagoon. I love seeing more and more people back outside, more cyclists, more runners. Jenny, yours is very similar. You also excited to get back outdoors, but for something very special. What are you looking forward to this April?
April means outdoor sporting season is back, baby. So this is Soccer Moms Unite, baseball moms, pack up those chairs. This is such a fun time for our city kids. I live in a condo. I live with 2 very active kids. This is a great time. They could just get outside, run, and explore. Shout out to the Chicago Park District for our beautiful parks. So we do outdoor soccer with AYSO right off of 63rd, right there, right off the lake. And it is a beautiful, you just can roll up on any Saturday morning. And it's just kids playing soccer from as far as the eye can see. And Jam started at 3, so he's at 4 now. He does playground soccer. And now our big kid is doing club soccer, but I love being outside. I love the community that it gives us. And it is just a great way to start our day. Now, something that I was going to hold off, but I feel very comfortable. So I am going to share with y'all listeners. If you want to be outside, something that is the most beautiful things you've seen are the cherry blossoms behind the Museum of Science and Industry. You are going to, but if you blink, it's gone. But I am telling you, right now they're scheduled to open April 26th. There's a festival and everything, but you have to stay on because we have too many one days, too many other days. If you come earlier or later. But that is a magical feeling to just take your allergy medicine, get outside, and really just embrace. It is the beauty. It is so beautiful. And it just reminds us of what a unique city. I don't want it to be too crowded. So I'm telling y'all and trusting that y'all will come and act right. But come down Lakeshore Drive and come and see the beautiful, beautiful cherry blossoms. It is one of my favorite times of the year.
1 to 3 on April 26th. That's a Saturday. The Japanese Arts Foundation, in partnership with the Japanese Cultural Center, Chicago Park District, and Asian Improv Art Midwest are all coming together. They're going to have art exhibits, drums out there. Of course, the cherry blossoms. We'll see where they are. I feel like last year they were a little late to bloom because the frost kind of carried us a little further into the spring. But man, seeing them across the city, like there was this one house in Hyde Park. I think the best photos a friend of mine has ever taken is me with these like gold sunglasses on, standing in this cherry blossom tree. And you have no idea where you are. You think we're in the Garden of the Phoenix or something. No, we are standing in someone's front yard in Hyde Park. We knocked on the door to see if somebody was there. They was not there. You are lucky to have them in your neighborhood, in your front yard, or somewhere close by. Do not miss getting your pictures. Do not miss just sitting in front of them, taking a stroll through Jackson Park. I'm glad you brought those up. I love that you was finna gatekeep it, though. That's some real Chicago shit right there. You was gonna gatekeep it, and he was like,
hot girls don't
"No, this ain't buddy.
Hot girls don't gatekeep." So I'm really trying to open it up.
You was talking about outdoor sports. You're talking about baseball, soccer. At the pro level, remember the Chicago Stars, Chicago Fire are in season. I also was trying to check real quick. I think Messi is coming to town in April as well.
So many times he had our tickets. He will come to Chicago like last year.
Oh yeah, and then he won't play.
And we paid those tickets, and then we won't play. So the soccer moms, Messi, if he comes to the street, he better come and go to Soldier Hill and go home, because moms in Chicago are ready to take him out. Our babies were disappointed. So many of us were there. So you can bring it up, but let them know. You better come to Chicago. Well, tuck your chain, Messi.
Messi scheduled to make his next appearance on Inter Miami in Chicago, April 13th at 3:30 at Soldier Field. We'll see, like you said the last couple of times, the hype is big. People all around the city get excited, and then they don't play. Hopefully, this time is different. Baseball is back as well. The Cubs got 14 home games this month. The Sox got 10 home games. And again, for as far as professional sports go, two of the cheaper options in the city for getting out and seeing some Chicago sports. So just dropping that reminder.
I love it. We're big Red Star fans. The Red Star games are so much fun. If you haven't had a chance to go support women's sports, it is a great time to take your families out. And that you are seeing, last year we went right before some of the women went and played like in the Olympics. Like, you're getting a chance to see worldwide athletes right in our own city. So make sure you do that. Something else I want to learn is how to play pickleball. So if we have any pickleball enthusiasts or anyone that wants to sponsor me on how to learn pickleball, I am ready to take the seniors in my neighborhood down. So, Greta, I'm sorry, but this is right here at Ellis Park. They do not play games there. I tried playing with them once, and they sat me down after 1 hour. So I have vengeance on my heart. If anybody wants to teach me how to play pickleball.
We did a whole episode. We did a whole episode with Toss and Spin founder Chris Clark a couple years ago. I'll drop a link to that episode for you. I know he'd be happy to teach you as well.
Chris, holler at your girl. I'm ready.
All right, for me, I'm feeling both of those. Getting outside, Botanic Gardens, outside sports. Also, this month, there are a lot of conventions coming to Chicago, some film festivals I'm going to talk about later. You got Expo Chicago later this month. That's not only at Navy Pier, featuring artists from all across the world, Seoul, Cape Town, London, New York City, and so many other places, local artists represented as well. But they also partner with places like the Southside Community Center, the Cultural Center, and other Blount Gallery, other smaller gallery spaces around the city for events. You've also got C2E2 coming back to McCormick Place later this month. It's the home of all things comics, cosplay, pop culture fandom. So many special guests going to be in the building. But the thing I'm most excited for in April is probably Independent Bookstore Day. That is happening April 26th. Again, that's a Saturday. Some of our favorite bookstores across the city, whether it's Call and Response Books, The Book Joint, Pilsen Community Books, Women and Children First, Slant of Light Books. It's so many bookstores, y'all. Over 50 are participating. They'll have bookstore crawls. They're going to have deals throughout the day. If you visit 10 stores during the crawl in one day, you'll get 10% off at all bookstores that are participating for an entire year. If you visit 15 stores in one day, you'll get 15%. So it's a fantastic event. It's a good way to get out. I recently pulled up on Sam Myers Bookstore in the South Loop for the first time. And what was really cool, I was checking out and the person was like, I'm sorry to do this, but are you Jacoby Cochran with City Gas Chicago? And I was like, come on. Yes. This is where I want to be. This is where I want to be known at the bookstores.
Yes.
Right? This is where I want people to recognize me. Whether it's Pals or Quimby's. I love getting out to Chicago's bookstores, supporting them. Any episode we've ever done, whether it's sitting down with Greta, sitting down with Dr. Eve Ewing to talk about some of our favorite books, it's always implied that we want you to visit a Chicago local store and pick it up. One of our sponsors, bookshop.org, allows you to purchase books online from some of Chicago's independent book retailers as well. And so these are all great things to be excited for. And again, if you got some suggestions, some things you're excited for, please don't hesitate to send us a text or a voicemail. You know me, I've always got a book or two or three I'm either reading or suggesting. And we will always pull for the local independent Chicago bookstores. But hey, I get it. With busy schedules, shopping online can be convenient. And with bookshop.org, you don't have to choose. Bookshop.org lets you choose an independent bookstore or an organization to order from, and your purchase directly supports them. I'm sitting right here looking at their map right now, and they got some of my favorite spots like Burst Into Books in Roseland, Bookies in Beverly, Pilsen Community Books, Women and Children First in Andersonville, and so many more. So whether you're looking for something to help you understand the world or you're just looking for a fun spring break read, bookshop.org can help you find the perfect book and support these community institutions at the same time. Plus, if you use code CityCast, you'll get 15% off your next order at bookshop.org. I'm about to use it right now. Our next category every month is we want to give people our biggest tip for April. What's something that is going to help them get through the month as smooth as possible. Mama Fresh, I'm gonna start with you. What's your biggest tip for people?
My biggest tip is to stay completely present. Don't let one 60-degree day, 65-degree day catch you slipping. Cancel plans, postpone that Zoom. It is very important that we don't take them for granted and get outside. Visit the lakefront. I know it sounds crazy to say touch some grass, but go skateboarding, pick up that scooter, all of those outdoor things. This has been a long winter emotionally and mentally for so many of us. Get out there and breathe some of that good air and really enjoy the city. Every day, I want to see you outside. If it's something as simple as taking your matcha that you make in the morning and sipping it on your back porch, but just go outside and take advantage of every moment.
I absolutely love that. I love that we continue in this theme and this entire conversation of just like being outdoors, trying our best to be present. Greta, but when we go outside, we do need to still be mindful, right? Them 60 days is upon us. But what's your big tip for April?
My big tip is wear layers because you know that sunny side of the street is going to be a lot warmer than the shady side. And you don't want to be caught unprepared outside. So, you know, take that Mama Fresh spirit and remember someone to say, don't forget your jacket because you probably need a jacket.
I know we've talked a lot about being outdoors, but remember, there's some great indoor events happening this month as well that you can pop into. And it's a big month for film festivals across the city of Chicago. You got the Senate Youth Film Festival that's taking place at the end of the month where people can see close to 20 short films made by young people. You got the Latino Film Festival, April 25th through the 27th, which is taking place at Landmark Century Cinemas. I think there's over 50 films that are taking place here representing Latino filmmakers across Latin America, whether we're talking about the Dominican Republic, Ecuador, Mexico, and so many other places, and the Asian Pop-Up Cinema. I know it started last month, but that still runs at New City through April 13th. And so I always love a good film festival, a good opportunity, get maybe to another neighborhood. And then, you know, when it's done, you go back outside. You can go back outside and you know, enjoy. One thing I will say about the outdoors is Chicago street sweeping season is upon us. I mentioned it last month and told people to, you know, sort of get themselves prepared. I really want people to tap into the Chicago street sweeping schedule because in some wards and in some sections, it doesn't necessarily begin on April 1st. So in my ward, for example, I live in the 4th ward. That street sweeping schedule is broken down into 15 sections. For section 1, that starts on April 1st. I actually live in section 15. Street sweeping, our first day isn't until May 9th.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of time.
However, I couldn't tell you with certainty when and where you are going to catch a ticket or potentially get towed like I did last street sweeping season. And so I did. Had to go my ass down to Lower Wacker.
No, Lower Wacker.
Going to the trailer.
Worst. I have tried to make sense of the cadence of street sweeping in the variety of neighborhoods that I have lived in here over the past 13 years. And it never makes any sense. I just assume I am always on the hook for probably
You're in Ward 1?
I am Ward 1, yes.
So again, that's broken down into 15 sections. You can kind of figure out where your address falls in there. And again, for section 1, April 1st, April 2nd, they get into it. Section 15, May 9th, May 12th.
Okay.
But hey, they may choose to still give you that little warning ticket like you ain't supposed to be here. Just pay attention to the signs, recognize where you're parking overnight. I think the overnight winter parking ban is out of here for the season. We are done with that one. So we do have miles and miles of parking opening up in some respects, but also remember, just as one door opens, somebody is standing there with a ticket right in your face and kicking you back out onto the street.
And shout out to all those really community members, all heroes don't wear capes, that come into apartment and condo buildings and say, y'all, they giving tickets outside, y'all. They towing cars. Y'all, they outside. So if you've forgotten that sign is out there, you can quickly grab your keys and whatever you have on and run to the front. So shout out to those members. I appreciate you.
The Chicago 2025 street sweeping schedule is now available at chicago.gov. One more thing before we get out of here. I love to ask our guests, our producers, who's ever joining me for these guides, what are you most looking forward to eating or drinking this month? Greta, I'm going to start with you. What's something that is on your list you have to grab this month?
Okay, so I have one thing to drink, one thing to eat. The thing I love to drink, and I'm very excited about this month, is kombucha at Middlebrow. At the risk of sounding like an extremely white girl, here we are. I'm sorry. They do really nice seasonal flavors, and it's just like delicious and weird tasting enough, I feel like, to like substitute what might be like an afternoon beer. I love going to Middlebrow for lunch, but like I don't always want to, start drinking at 12 o'clock. So their kombucha is like seasonal and lovely. It's always a really fun color, and it's just like delicious and wonderful. So I'm excited for that.
Is it the kombucha that's like on tap?
Yes,
Is the kombucha
it's on tap.
I love it
Yes.
on tap kombucha. Okay,
It's so
I'm here
good.
For that. I'm gonna try
Yeah.
that.
Nice.
I'll look for your dog sitting outside so that way I'll know where you
Yeah,
live.
there you go.
I know people love Middlebrow for their Tavern Tuesdays,
Mhm.
but they recently added a Detroit style pizza, which long-term listeners may know isn't my absolute favorite style of pizza. I'm gonna keep it all the way real, but it's also about a 12-minute walk from a place we both share in common, Greta, up in Logan Square.
Yes.
Penguin Foot Pottery. I just finished my 4-week class. I made a series of ashtrays, bowls, small flower vases. I'm going to put some small flowers in it. So that's what it's going to be for.
Yep.
But I finally got over there. And then once I posted a picture, you immediately were like, Penguin Foot?
I was like, why haven't I seen you at Penguin Foot if we're both going? Yes.
How long have you been going there?
So I started up in October, and it was one of those things that I had been talking about doing for years. And then, I got laid off last May, and I was like, now is my time to shine. For some reason, it still took me 6 months to get my butt over there. But I'm so glad I did. Penguin Foot is wonderful. All the teachers are amazing.
Okay, so kombucha, Middlebrow, Logan Square. We had to take a quick tangent to talk about Penguin Foot Pottery, but you're also excited to eat something this month you was telling me about.
Yes, I just love pizza all the time. I just want to eat pizza like every day. And Zaza's Pizza on Clark is phenomenal. It's a little closer to Wrigley Field than I would like, especially during baseball season. However, it is worth the trek, partly because they have this really good, it's like a vegan miso Caesar salad.
What now?
The dressing is vegan, and it's so delicious. It's like a miso.
You are talking
miso
my
something.
language.
It is such a wonderful salad. My boyfriend, a couple weeks ago, we ordered online, and he accidentally just ordered 2 salads. And we were like, well, it would have been nice to have had the pizza, but at least we have the salad. It is so good. It's so, like, the croutons are all of it. And all their pizzas are great too. And they do, like, big old school style slices, and they're just delicious.
I love that you say old school style. This is New York style pizzeria.
Okay,
you trying to slide past me. No, I do want to try it though. Bacon jam, red sauce, mozzarella, brown sugar, bacon reduction, red onion, Calabrian chilies, scallions. I might throw some.
I feel like their deal, they don't make a bunch of stuff, but it's all just like super high quality ingredients, and it's
I love that.
delicious. And like that's what I want. Like don't do too much.
Pesto and sausage pie with the fresh mozz, fennel sausage, burrata, hot honey, pesto.
Exactly. And their rewards program is really good, which is the most ridiculous thing to shout out. But I save like $5 every time I go there.
I love a good rewards program though.
I know, right?
I am an old school. Like it doesn't have to be a punch card, but I love a version of a punch card. Like I'm here, reward me more. Yes, I would like a free extra
I will keep
topping.
giving you money. Just trick me into thinking I'm saving money. That's great.
And see me, recognize me, acknowledge me, let me know that I am value.
Yes, yeah, that's nice.
What are you excited for this month?
So I've been really on a bagel kick, and I've been really frequenting Tilly's Bagel in the South Loop. And so they've done a lot of these special run bagels. Recently, they partnered with the Fishwife and did this like tuna bagel, but you might know them for their Chicago bagel. Of course, they had green ones for St. Patrick's Day. So I'm really excited to see what they're coming up with for April. there is a very, it's a close race that's going on in their Instagram, and it's between jalapeno cheddar, pretzel bagel, chili crisp. Yeah, there's some good ones in there. People are voting. So I am watching those election results with the hope that I haven't had watching election results in a long time.
We need that. We need that.
And so I am really excited to see whatever their bagel is. For these are still hand tossed. They give my kids stickers for their Switch. I mean, they're just a great environment. And so I'm really excited for the April. Tilly's, if you're listening, I'm ready. Whatever you're coming out with for April, I'll be in line.
So yeah, I've heard a lot about Tilly's, but I've never been, and I'm not too far from it. So I need to stop by.
Yeah, the Chicago is everything you know and love in a Chicago hot dog, but in a bagel, poppy seed, mustard seed, celery, onion, dill, the season. People are coming in buying them by the dozen. My bagel choice is I get the cacio de pepe bagel. So if you love that in a pasta, but God. Picture that in a bagel, and then I get it with potato, like almost like little hash brown, like little potatoes, salsa verde, jalapeno cream cheese. It's just delicious.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
So delicious.
All right, so that's what you're trying to eat. What you trying to drink this month?
I am trying to drink a glass of chilled Love Corkscrew, Be the Light Sauvignon Blanc in a glass in my girlfriend's backyard. I just think there is something that's so special. You know, when you have those lights going in the backyard, there's some good music playing and the laughter and just having a glass of wine. And in this case, Black Woman Chicago-owned brand right in your backyard. That is the exhale after I take that sip, let me know that spring has sprung. Like, we made it through another winter, y'all. We're here. Like, I love that. And so that's what I'm really excited to sip on and drink.
I feel like in Chicago, you can tell it's like people's hearts thaw. Like that's literally what like we're getting so close to that time of year where you just walk around and everybody's just got these like unhinged smiles on their faces because they're like, thank God we made it.
All of the options y'all was throwing out made me kind of run down so many different ones in my head. So one, I was thinking like, what snacks am I excited for this month? I just had this great conversation last month with the co-owner of Tasty Rolls over on 79th Street in Chatham. And I really want to get over there and try their foot-long egg roll. I've had like the shrimp egg roll and the barbecue chicken, but she was talking about the foot-long egg roll. And I was gee, I need to get over there.
I've had their egg rolls. Shout out to Tasty Rolls. They used to be in the western suburbs.
They still, I think, in Bellwood.
They catered my daddy's 70th birthday. So instead of us having like all this food, we just did a bunch of different egg rolls. Shout out to them. And they cut them up just in half on an egg. So we had like an egg roll.
And I promise everybody listening, I did not know this. I didn't even mention this at any point. This is beautiful.
No, it was one of my dad's favorite things. So we're like thinking about what we could do different. And a 70-year-old Black man from Chicago is not into charcuterie, y'all. So we were trying to think about what we could do. And so we did a sampling of different egg rolls. And people loved it. It was such a hit.
Speaking of other grab and go options, I've been reading a bunch of stories about this new Filipino Hawaiian spot in Ravenswood called Kanin. And I hear the lines are long, the food is good, and it's this like small bodega-like restaurant. They only got 3 tables, but they sell like snacks that you're not gonna typically find in the Jewels or something. Like so like the Kit Kat and the Oreo flavors you won't find and other snacks. I don't have a ton of experience with Spam Musubi, which is Spam, the block of rice, and seaweed, but I do get down with some tamarind shrimp musubi. I love egg and longanizo. It's like a sweet sausage. They also got chicken skewers, pork skewers, ube banana pudding. Yeah, And so the restaurant owner, Julius Takadina, he was born in the Philippines, raised in Hawaii, just opened the Chicago spot at the top of March. And again, people are loving it. The lines are long. I hear the flavors are amazing. And then I'm going to Mexico City in May. And I am a big mezcal drinker. And so I still haven't gotten over to Cantina Rosa, the newest cocktail bar in Hyde Park. And I know that they've got a bunch of mezcal options. And so my birthday is at the end of this month. And there are a few spots throughout my birthday month that I like to pull back up on. You know, I got to do a Bronzeville Winery brunch at some point. I got to get some Daisy's pasta. Giant is already scheduled for the birthday dinner. So I got to make sure I get over to Cantina Rosa as well to give me a good mezcal flight in before I get up out of here. And again, to everybody who is listening, whether you are new here and this is your first episode, consider coming back riding with us. We've been here for the last 4 years and 1,000 episodes. There is something here for every single person. And if you don't hear something for you, please make the suggestion to us. Just reach out to us at 773-780-0246. Leave your name, your neighborhood, and your suggestion. But before you get out of here, please join me in thanking our guest today, digital creator Jenny LaFleur, aka Mama Fresh. Always good to see you, Mama Fresh.
It's always good to be here. And thank you so much for having me back and introducing me to Greta, because I feel like we're fast friends. So thank you so much, Greta, for
Can't wait for the group text.
With you. Oh.
Also join me in thanking podcast host and CityCast Chicago book club leader, Greta Johnson.
Thank you for having me, Jacoby. Happy early birthday. And I have to also just shout out tourist season because it is right around the corner and you know it's going to be good.
Before we get out of here, make sure you bookmark our website, chicago.citycast.fm. There you can catch up on old podcast episodes. You can subscribe to our daily newsletter, Hey Chicago. And if you are new here, please come back. We are here every day, Monday through Friday. This is going to be a fantastic month across the city, right? The tulips are out blooming. My mama gonna be making this amazing Easter dinner, and it falls on 420. My best friend is starring in his first play in the city bus at the Goodman. Right? My birthday ends this month. I know I already mentioned that. So, hey, we're going to have some amazing episodes, some wonderful events, some good news. You can catch me on Daytime Chicago at WGN this Friday talking about our 1,000 Things We Love About Chicago list. I'm also going to be reading some of this list live next Tuesday at the Hideout during my homie Al Scorch's big fantastical residency. It's the birthday jamboree. So please pull up. I will drop links in the show notes. As always, I appreciate you for listening and reading. We gonna be back bright and early tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Peace. Keep that in, Michelle. Keep that in. Chicago Soccer Balls got smoke for Messi.